Antoinette crept along the alley, unknown shadows pressing in on her from the darkness. Perspiration beaded on her upper lip, and she swiped a hand across her face before the salty moisture slipped, unwelcome, to the corners of her mouth. Sweat trickled down her back. She tugged the damp t-shirt away from her sticky skin. Sucking the humid air into her lungs was like trying to breathe through a warm, wet blanket. Damn this heat! Why couldn't he have picked someplace a little cooler? But she knew why. Miami was the perfect hunting ground with its transient population. Over the last 2 weeks, she'd tracked the vampiric Necrodreniac across 3 states with her brother, Nicky. The killer's trail of bodies had led them here, and now they were so close, she could almost taste it. A scream pierced the still darkness. She dropped, her hand wrapping around the pistol grip. A second cry ripped through the night, and she relaxed. Only a couple of tomcats fighting. Other sounds began to filter through. Water dripped somewhere to her right. Distant police sirens wailed, and animals shrieked. Both the 2-legged and the 4-legged varieties. But not a hint of her target. As she turned her head, she caught a glint on the ground and looked up to her right at the broken window on the side of the old warehouse. Glass crunched beneath her boots as she gripped the windowsill to haul herself up. She remained balanced on the sill until her eyes adjusted to the gloom. The stench from inside hit her with an almost physical force. The foul aroma was made up of musty wet paper, stale urine, and animal feces. But underlying it all lurked something more subtle and much more disturbing. The smell of pain, the smell of evil, the smell of death itself. The reek of a Necrodreniac lair. Christian waited, silent and patient. He heard her long before he saw her from his vantage point in the rafters, 30 feet above the warehouse floor. She entered through the same window he'd used earlier, and he breathed her in, holding the scent, tasting it, savoring it. Human. She perched on the windowsill, her nose wrinkled in disgust, and her eyes narrowed as she peered into the far corners of the abandoned building. Even if she'd looked up, he'd have been safe from discovery, his position secured by shadow. After a few moments, she dropped to land quietly, sinking into a low crouch with hands braced on the floor and head tilted to listen. Her outfit, from her SWAT tactical vest down to solid black army boots, looked perfect for a covert mission and enhanced her slim, athletic, but unmistakably feminine figure. She wore no perfume or synthetic scent, only her own natural fragrance. A thick braid of pale blonde hair fell over one shoulder, the end brushing the floor as she hunkered down,